Hello. We're going to be recording an all-region submission for SGDQ today. This is the Arcana I will be running. Main things to look at are origination. We want to get two curses from different Olympians for extra damage. And we will be using strength, which means no death defiances. And in exchange we get some extra damage and some damage resistance. We will also be using the Jeweled Palm to start out with, which means we have a bit less control over what the run has for us, like what boons we get, what upgrades we get. But in exchange, those boons are more powerful. And I enjoy using it because it's fun. It creates some interesting situations that you might not have encountered if you were just choosing what starting god you wanted and then having rerolls, and then also the weapon I use is really good with the Jeweled Palm, and I enjoy it a lot. So we're not using rerolls, of course. Anyway, the fear setup is just Frenzy for the surface, and then in the underworld we turn on the Veiled Shadow as well. Let's do it.
This is fate. This way this time.
Starting with Hephaestus, that's fine. We got the special. I do enjoy the Hep special. Basically just creates a big blast on a cooldown. Here we have Hera. Hera's very good. We want either attack or gain. That's neither, but we do hit the Bridal Glow to make that cooldown on our blast 2 seconds. That's very strong. Is it 2 seconds? I don't know. It's very short. Here we do have Apollo that I will go for. I am going to hit this health up here first because it is a quick room. And hitting the health first means we don't get Artemis on it later. And Artemis is an RTA time loss. Very nice. So this region of Fira, all of these rooms, the rewards are randomized every run, of course. But each room that the rewards are assigned to, like this room is always going to be this boar, and it's always pretty fast because it's very consistent and usually just can do boss damage, especially on this weapon. It has very good early boss damage. This weapon, the aspect of the Morrigan on the blades, its thing that makes it special is that if you hit an enemy with an attack, a special, and then an Omega move, they take a big burst of 777 damage. It's very good, especially if you can chain it together. We'll take the Flash Fry here. Flash Fry is very nice. Some nice AoE explosions when enemies die. Take this Medea room because it's just an NPC room. It counts as a room, but it's not a combat, so it's very quick. We'll take Traces. That should basically solve our magic for the rest of the run because we have our gain already. We're still looking for a nice attack, though. We take this Hammer, and I think I miscounted rooms. Input's got eaten a little bit there. That's unfortunate. There's a Wicked. Wicked's good. Just extra power on our attack. It's very nice. And we'll just grab this Selene, yeah. Heracles, that's not great. Just a bit of an RTA time loss because he makes the encounter a bit longer usually. And then he of course has the dialogue, and you gotta wait for him to drop the gold at the end of the encounter. It's not fantastic, but that's alright. Yeah, but this region is basically just you're doing 6 rooms to kill 6 pylons, so it removes that shield, so you can move on to the next, or so you can move on to the boss and then to the next region as well. Selene is not great in a speed run. She has some niche utility options. Like none of these aren't probably not going to use this at any point during the run. It's not great. But that room is a quick room. It would have been nice if Heracles wasn't in there, but oh well. Hera again, that's good. we'll take the fine line here. The Born gain could have been nice, but we already have a pretty nice gain. Not a bad gain. And then the fine line is a lot of damage whenever we use our Omega. This is Polyphemus. He's a very easy boss. Just do damage. Just do damage, pretty much. That's it. Very easy.
Nap time.
Nap time indeed. Moving on to the next region, we will be picking up the fig leaf here. It gives us a chance to skip an encounter in the next 3 regions, which is the the rest of the run has 3 regions, and it is a chance. So we could get scammed, we could get fig scammed as we call it, where you just don't get it for a region, which would be unfortunate, of course. This is the Rift of Thessaly, where we're traversing on all of these boats to get across it. Take the Hermes here. Hit by a trap there, that's not preferred. Hermes. Take the Nitro boost, it's a nice bit of sprint speed, as well as giving us these little resistance barriers. This is our Fig Leaf proc. Little resistance barriers when we're sprinting to help prevent some damage taken if we get hit while we're sprinting. This is the Thessaly boats can have either 1 or 2 combat encounters after the entrance. This one was a double encounter, so that's a bit unfortunate, but that was a pretty quick combat at least. Path of Stars is exactly why we didn't really want this hex, because it's just an RTA time loss and doesn't really upgrade our build in any way. So that's alright. Come on. There we go. We don't really care about this, so we're just gonna pick random ones. It does not matter. There's the mid shop. In Thessaly, you're pretty much almost guaranteed to get either hit the mid shop or the NPC Island Cersei. This is not great. I will take this Heat Rush to open a duo between Hephaestus and Hestia. I would normally not prefer Heat Rush, but I'll take it to open the duo. Ouch. Try stop getting hit. Another half here could be chain reaction. It is not, but we'll take the Clang attack. We got a Clang build on our hands, which can be fun, especially because we have the chain reaction open, and we could also open the if we get the Apollo cast, we could open the duo between Apollo and Hephaestus as well. We'll take Extended Family here. That is a nice damage increase on our Olympian damage, which is our Hephaestus blasts, and the fine line as well. This is what's known as a dispute, a trial. It's basically you pick one of the 2 boons at the start, and then whichever one you don't pick, gets mad at you and then starts attacking you as long as all of the enemies. It's nice because you get 2 boons. Still kind of want to save for Apollo cast, so we'll take the snuff candle there. There's another half. Do we get chain reaction? We do not. We will take Furnace Blast. That is one of the 2 curses for origination. It's also just a nice damage increase. The other option there was Caldera to increase the damage and the size of the blasts. But since we're not going to get origination unless we get Furnace Blast, then I do want the Furnace Blast. This is the second boss, Eris. She can be quite annoying at times, but we're getting a pretty nice pattern here, luckily. Misplaced my cast there, unfortunately. Taking a bit of damage, but that's okay. This last phase, we want to hide out by this pillar, and she'll fly down close to us. There it is. Pretty easy. Not too bad. In the upcoming biome, we will pick up the metallic droplet. It gives us a bit of sprint speed and channel speed, which is quite nice on this weapon. And we'll buy this boon. chain reaction, please. Unfortunately, still no. I'm going to take the Smoldering at this point, just to get our origination active. So now we have the Glow Curse from Hephaestus, the Furnace Blast Boon, and now we got the Scorch from the Smoldering as well. Of course, there's Apollo where we could have hit the cast, but that's alright. We could get the perfect image for more damage on our blasts. That was a big proc there as well, very nice. Olympus can be quite annoying sometimes because it's very swingy, where you're not guaranteed to see skips like at all, pretty much, because that's just how Olympus is. It's a lot of biomes you're guaranteed or almost guaranteed to see at least like a mid shot that like skips around. In Olympus, you're not. You are not guaranteed to see mid shot at all, or Dionysus, or the Fountain. It's a bit wacky. There's Itos. Itos is annoying. Itos slows us down a little bit, but luckily it wasn't too bad. That hammer, we picked up Sweeping Ambush, gives us a lot of Omega damage at the cost of increasing its cost. It's very strong. It is the best weapon, or the best hammer on this weapon for sure. Goodbye, Talos. That is the power of Sweeping Ambush and the Clang build. Just evaporated the mini boss there, and there's Chain Reaction, which, you know, it makes the blast happen a second time if we do it directly after it comes off cooldown. It's very strong. We got a very good build here. Hermes. We do have Tall Order. Tall Order's a nice damage bonus when we have at least 8 of any one element, which we have a lot of fire from Hestia and Hephaestus. This is the Fountain Chamber. That's very nice room skip. Holy. Ooh, out of magic because I forgot to be using my game boon. The classic. This is a long encounter. It is Athena. I was thinking it might be Athena. That's unfortunate. Bit of a time loss there. That's alright. Looking for Righteous Pikes here, probably. Don't get it. That's okay. I'll take Divine Dash. That's fine. That's fine. Olympus also has these statues of the Olympians that you can activate to do a little effect. Demeters are especially powerful. They leave a little lingering AoE whirlwind. It's very strong. Go to the shop. I probably should have went to the Hephaestus, actually. Try to get a trusty shield. That's alright. There's... I mean, we'll take Nexus Rush. It's better than Heat Rush, but not by a lot. It's okay. Upbringing was an option there too, but I'm not sure if we're going to actually activate it by getting another Earth. This is Prometheus. He's frequently an issue with his patterns. He likes to be mobile and move around a lot, but we have so much damage, I don't think we're going to have an issue with it. This memory game, you can either memorize the flame paths, or you can just iframe through it. I prefer to do the latter. I'm not an enjoyer of memorizing. We have so much damage on this build, we are just evaporating him. Flame Waves Part 2. This time there's 5 instead of the first 3. Evaporated. On to the next biome. It is like most would say Summit is the most dangerous biome. It's quite scary, especially when you consider that we will be picking up the White Antler Keepsake, which sets our maximum health to 30, but it gives us a huge 30% crit chance Luckily, we hit the security system to make it a lot safer.
See you later.
Security system there gives us a huge chunk of armor at the beginning of each encounter. It's very nice for safety. Crit chance, or critical strikes in this game is a 3 times multiplier. It gives us plus 200% damage on each hit that crits. So a 30% crit chance is just a ginormous amount of damage. Figging the first room there is optimal. It's very good. The first room frequently has a lot of these land dragons that like to dig underground and teleport, and it's very annoying if it's not Fig, but luckily we got the Fig Leaf there. This is Twins. This is the mini-boss we want to see. They go by very quickly, as you can see. Goodbye, Twins.
We'll have to do this again.
We want... yeah, I mean, we'll take premium service. Nice Hephaestus Legendary. Adds an additional 222 damage on our Triad. That's pretty nice. More Dragons.
Here it comes.
We'll take another Hef. We're looking for the Grand Caldera that we saw earlier that increases the AoE and the damage of our blast. That would be a lot of extra damage for us. This is also the optimal mini-boss you want to see. The Eye of Typhon is very easy. It just, you know, sits there and you can just hit it. It's very nice, very quick.
In the name of Hades.
There's Grand Caldera, very nice. This is the end shop where we will buy this armor that's guaranteed to show up, and then we will head over to the boss, which is Typhon, the father of all monsters. Typhon's actually the easy part of the summit, because we're using an arcana called Lovers, where the first 3 hits that we take during the boss fight don't actually hit us. We're actually just immune. We also hit him for a huge 5,000 damage crit on the blast to start out the fight, so he was instantly phased. Holy. We are taking more hits than I would like, but we should be fine. Zeus shows up at the halfway point to stun Typhon for us. And then we can move on to the next phase because this build is so ridiculous. And that's Typhon. Very nice run. Incredible build. Pretty easy fight with the antler when you know the patterns. Drink some water real quick. Now we're moving on to the underworld. In the as we stated before, the we'll add on the Vow of Shadow on our fear setup, because the Vow of Shadow makes one of the mini bosses in Erebus, the first region, much faster. The Shadow Spiller is much faster if we have the Vow of Shadow on. And then the other mini bosses, we don't really have a time loss. If we also, we got the long Homer. We got the bad Homer dialogue, unfortunately here. That's a bit of a time loss. Oh yeah, I didn't explain it before, but we run the Vow of Frenzy, which makes the enemies move and attack faster, because it also makes them spawn in faster, which makes the run, of course, faster. Let's turn on the Vow of Shadow.
Fear is for the living and the dead.
Head to the underworld. Aphrodite starts, not bad. I don't really like this setup though. We'll take the Passion Rush. That's not my favorite. I would have liked to see the Rapture Ring or Cast Boon is really nice. And then the attack. The attack is workable. It's not the best, but it does do good damage. Erebus is a pretty standard biome. It's just kind of a regular biome in this game. That's a very unfortunate hammer. Rapid Onslaught's okay, but attack speed does not really benefit this weapon very much. And then, on top of that, because this weapon is weird, Rapid Onslaught does not actually increase our channel speed when the text would lead you to believe that it would. It's not great, but that's okay. One of our Arcana cards, the Artificer card, is allowing us to transform some of those minor rewards into major rewards. We haven't been very lucky with it so far, but it's fine.
For me.
I would rather have 25 health instead of the 5 health from Ash for sure. Take the mid shop. We'll buy this Poseidon looking for our Flood Gain or a Title Ring. Take the Flood Gain. And then we're gonna take the Hestia. Looking for Flash Fry. Smolder Ring's good too. Buy Mini Boss. There's the Flash Fry. Again, Flash Fry is very nice. It creates an AoE explosion whenever an enemy dies. This is a Cocoon's room, which is usually pretty good. We didn't get very lucky there. It was the second to last Cocoon, but that's okay. Take the Azure Dress. Probably won't be needed, but a little extra mana gain is never bad. Most importantly, though, that Arachne room is, of course, a room skip. Take this Chaos, which also functions as a room skip. Hopefully we don't get too bad of a curse from them. Yeah, that's fine.
Primordial strength.
Hopefully we get a good boon in this shop. Demeter's okay. That's not great.
The clearing isn't far.
That's not great.
Found something new to wear.
The pleasant.
Flames awaken.
This is Hecate. Pretty easy standard first boss.
Into the fray, sister.
She summons these witches in between each phase. We did get the unlucky attack here. The lasers have to finish their full cycle before we can move on to the next phase, which is unfortunate. Here, we have the sheep ball. Try not to get hit by it, of course. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Again, unlucky lasers. And we'll finish out the boss here.
Quite enough.
Cinder.
Moving on to the next region again, we take the Fig Leaf Keepsake to have a chance to skip encounters the next 3 regions. Looking in the well to check for a
Down I go.
light of Ixie. Is it light or spark? I don't remember. Ixion to try to guarantee a Chaos Gate. Unfortunately, we did not see it. That's okay.
That briny smell.
Oceanus, again, pretty standard biome. Artificer this. Extra magic's not bad. This is our Fig Leaf. Very nice.
In we go.
We'll take the Aphrodite. The room with 2 boons on it is almost always slower, so we avoid those when we can.
In the name of Hades.
Looking for the attack here. Very nice. Take Aphrodite again. Looking for Secret Crush. Hello, Tony.
Got you, King.
Those who have played the first game will, of course, remember the tiny vermin. Pretty simple boss in this game for sure. Looking for Secret Crush here. There it is, very nice, extra attack power. Hello, Nemesis. This is a very getting a Nemesis that's not a combat is preferred in the RTA run. Getting this kind of Nemesis is okay. It's better than a combat, but there is a better version where you just talk to her and then she doesn't, and then you can move on. Flash Ride being very nice on the fish rooms, of course. Where are the last ones there? This is where Oceanus can be quite obnoxious with the fish rooms. They take a while, especially if you don't have Flash Fry. avoid the Hex for reasons stating earlier. The speedrun does not really use them very much, and they are also just an RTA time loss.
In the name of Hades.
We do have the Aphrodite Legendary open, which would be fun, but we'll take the Rapture Ring here. Origination will likely be in... No, we have Arctic Gale. This is the Sirens. We start the fight by trying to attack the Kitarist over there, Jetty, to try to phase her. I don't think we have the damage to phase her. We do not. So she, of course, escapes down the water, and will kill the other Sirens in the meantime. This is not a very good fight for me. Usually it's better. In this mid-phase part, we like to place an Omega Cast down under multiple of them, and then continue doing damage. We lost our dress because we're not exactly playing super well, but that's okay. We didn't really need the dress anyway, because it was just the Azure dress, and we already had a gain. Pretty easy boss though, not too bad. A bit slower than I would have liked, but that's alright. Here we take the droplet again for the sprint speed and the channel speed. It's very nice, especially in RTA. If we were running an IGT run where it's just based off the in-game timer, frequently we would take the Athena's keepsake here, because she arrives in the encounter and pauses the timer, in which time you can use that time to navigate the room that you're in this biome, which is a bit different. This is the Fields of Mourning, where the biome is, or each room is much larger and has multiple rewards, so it's easy to not know your way around it. So having Athena to pause through the timer is quite beneficial in those kind of runs. I'll take Aphrodite again. We do have Nervous Wreck open, which would be a nice pickup here. Phantom mini-boss, not too bad.
Say something, Homer?
We'll take Sweet Surrender, extra damage to weakened enemies. It's pretty nice.
Echo, let me know if I can help.
Here, we'll take Boon Boon Boon, just to get a random boon from the last run. Take the Snuffed Candle. That's not fantastic, but it's okay. Go over here for the Hammer. It also has the Hex, but at this stage, it's not too big of a deal, and the Hammer is very much worth it. We are getting sucked by the Bloat Shade, unfortunately.
Very well.
Not a great encounter here. Getting hit by the consecutive normal smackers, as we call those little blue guys that just the unarmored blue guys that just come repeatedly and make the encounter last very long. Take Total Eclipse. We do have the opportunity to use it 1 or 2 times. Hello, Demeter. Bashful for Origination. It's quite nice. This is the Cerberus boss. Just giving him a quick little bath here. Not playing super well. Kind of messed up my combos there, but that's alright. We'll add phase as the mid phase here. We Omega Cast. And then try to end the fight as quickly as possible, of course. Very nice. We were able to end the fight before he burrowed away. Very nice.
Now be at peace again. This way.
Entering Tartarus, we of course take the White Antler. Take this little bit of armor as well for a little bit of safety, and then that Witch's Mark for a bit more damage as well. this region,
Not much farther now.
where you can take the express route and go straight to the boss, or you can take some side rooms and get some extra rewards. We, of course, being speed runners, always take the express route. Again, we really want this first room to have the fig leaf proc on it. Unfortunately, we are not so lucky in this run, but that's alright. Skulls is not exactly what I want to see. Teleport around, and there's always a lot of them. Can be quite annoying at times. Flash fry being very, very nice there. Where bags, similar to skulls, there's usually quite a few of them. Luckily they're armored, so there'll be less of them. And they just like to run away and be annoying. Ouch. Taking a bit of a hit there, that's alright. Surely we don't get scammed, right? Oh, armored Tenpai are very scary. Taking a few hits there. We did in fact not get scammed, very nice. No armor from this or from this end shop rather, so we'll just continue on to Kronos.
You shall find. Legions of the Golden Age come forth.
Kronos is not too bad. In my opinion, again, kind of similar to the summit, this is actually the easy part of the last region. It's a bit less because Tartarus is a bit easier compared to Summit,
History repeats.
and Typhon is very consistent. We actually lost all of our levers in that first phase, so I am going to have to go to the safe zone. That's a bit unfortunate. That's okay. There we go, phase jump. Okay. This run is a lot less lucky than our last in terms of the build, but we did get a very nice crit on that Total Eclipse to end the fight.
It shall not hurt
Not
us
a
all.
bad run overall. That underworld was much less good than that surface run, and thanks to a wonderful person in my chat, I noticed the live split was not actually on the stream. Oh well,
The Cerberus.
that's okay. Not a bad run at all. So that's the all regions category.
The vengeful princess and the hateful
It
titan
is
fought
a
and
nice
fought. That is
a nice
until the
short and
titan
sweet
with the
RTA
princess
category
at his
that I
mercy
enjoy on
took the
occasion.
opportunity to give a
Next we'll be
speech,
doing the
during which
the
princess
Rivals
knew,
version,
after all,
which turns on the Vow of Rivals, which makes the bosses in each the end bosses in each region have a different variation and be quite a bit harder.
As it should be.
Another remnant destroyed.
I am going to turn on the Death Arcana instead of the Strength Arcana, just for a little bit more safety for the Rivals bosses. Keep on the Jeweled Palm, and we will keep using Rocky, the Raven, to give us a little extra crit
Do
chance.
not avert your
Turn off
gaze.
Shadow again for the
Let your
surface,
darkness guide me. For the
and
daughters of
let's
night,
get in. Oh, we got to turn on the Rivals as well, of course.
I swear it, Nyx.
And let's get into it.
Into the cold.
Go down with a hammer. It's interesting. Banshee Brand's good. Hephaestus again. Very interesting. This is very nice, especially in the rivals because of the extra safety he can provide. A nice special is very, very good. A very nice looking Aphira once again. Taking this Hera first, hoping for attack. The Hera's Curse hitch we especially want in the Vow of Rivals surface. Very nice.
I accept this gift.
Next we'll head over to the double health over here. No Artemis, good. Artemis and Aphira can only spawn on the double health or double magic rooms. And she cannot be in the first room, so there was a bit of a risk at Artemis being in here, but that's... luckily we avoided that. Bit of a long encounter, unfortunately. This room we like to call Chariots, and for some reason it's labeled green on the map guide we have in the speed court. I heavily disagree. I think it should be orange. It's not great on average. Take Corrosion here. Corrosion's very strong. Basically removes half of the armor on every single armored enemy, including mini-bosses. It's very good.
Lovers.
That was a very nice encounter. Take Caldera here. Extra damage and area on our blast on the special. Taking this magic. Hopefully it's not Artemis. Not Artemis, good. And then we're going to take the Selene up there. Bit of a long encounter, unfortunately, again, but that's alright.
Good evening. The silvers.
Here we'll take the Twilight Curse. It has a few niche uses on the surface route. The eggs that the final boss Typhon spawns in his fight, it just kills them instantly, which is very nice. Here we this is tough. I'm gonna take the title ring to activate origination and to also open a boon called Success Rate from Hermes. That basically makes all percent things more likely to happen, including the crit chance from Antler. Here, the Rivals version of the Polyphemus fight adds Medea throwing poison at us. She can be quite annoying, especially when I don't dodge. But that's okay. It's still pretty simple, pretty easy. You just burst down Polyphemus and it ends the fight pretty quick.
Asleep again. Try another one.
Take the Fig Leaf once again.
All right.
I'm gonna buy this magic because we
Good.
passed up on the gain for the cast. So we'll take a little extra magic in case we don't see a gain for a while.
Change of course.
A large boat with spread out enemies, unfortunately, but that's alright. We Artificer this. Zeus at this stage is not amazing. I don't want Zeus's game.
Lightning
It's
from on
kind of
high.
annoying to play around, and we have two other fantastic games in this pool that surely we can see, right? Hermes, success rate would be quite nice. Unfortunately, the double encounter boat, but we do hit our Fig. No success rate, but we will take just the hasty retreat for a little bit of extra dodge chance. We hit Cersei this time instead of the mid shop. We want Cersei to give us an upgrade of our familiar to give us more crit chance, but we don't see that. We will take this extra bit of dodge. next encounter. Another rather large boat, unfortunately. Another minor reward for us to use Artificer on, and another double boat. Zeus again. We still don't want Zeus's gain, and I'm still gonna hold out for a better gain. Because we do have a decent amount of magic, and we are getting magic here, and then a magic from our Hermes as well, right there. Take health here. Health is quite nice, because the Prometheus Rivals version can be quite dangerous at times. So even though we will be taking the antler at the end, we're like effectively losing all this health that we're gaining. Having health for Prometheus is still a nice benefit. Take Hephaestus here.
I'll take it from here.
Hephaestus does not have a gain for us really, but he does have other good boons, like the security system that we had on our other run, or the trusty shield for some extra safety as well. We already have Caldera, but we would take the Furnace Blast as well, which is there. But we're gonna take Trusty instead, because that also opens the premium service that we had on the other run that upgrades our Triad. Looking for Born Gain here, Hera's Gain. We do see it, very nice. We no longer have to worry about magic at all.
Target practice.
Most likely, rather. This is Rivals Eris. Instead of having the aspect of Eris on the Adamant Rail from the first game, she has the aspect of Lucifer on the Adamant Rail from the first game. She is quite a bit more annoying in the Rivals fight. Our damage isn't bad though, so yeah, she likes to fly up like that. It's quite annoying. With good amount of damage though, it's significantly less annoying because you just kill her before she can fly up. It's quite a little bit here. That's alright. Very nice crit there from Rocky, thank you. That was a pretty good Eris fight.
She never learns. Probably stolen. Next.
Here, instead of the droplet, we're going to take the knuckle bones. What the knuckle bones do is they do a huge burst of damage on the next bosses, like 2 seconds after you enter the fight or something like that. Take the Chaos Room skip. Fortunately, skipping the hammer, but oh well. They do a huge burst of damage, and the Rivals version of Prometheus actually has 2 bosses. So it does the huge burst of damage to both of those bosses. And because we have Hitch, we can hitch them together before that burst of damage happens, and then they share both bursts of damage as well. It's a very strong combo if you get Hitch with the Knuckle Bones, and even without Hitch, I still usually take the Knuckle Bones when I'm doing the Rivals speedrun here. There's the hammer, very nice. Is this first hammer actually? I think it might be. No, it's not. We have Banshee Brand, that's right. Unfortunately, not a great hammer. We did get Sinister Pinion, which is not amazing, but if we do get the grape juice from Dionysus here, we do not, unfortunately. But there's a very fun combo to be had with the Sinister Pinion and the grape juice. Dionysus, of course, being a ring skip is very good to see, especially in Olympus, with the very inconsistent room skips. There's our mid-boss, Talos again.
I'm back to put you out of commission again.
This time, our build is not bad, but just way less good. So it's taking a bit longer this time. Here we're hoping for not these. We were hoping for Ocean Swell or Seismic Servo there, and we did not see either of those, unfortunately. But that's alright. Not a great Poseidon though. Long encounter here, unfortunately, but that's alright. Another half premium service is open and would be very nice to get.
That light.
We get Seismic Servo instead, reducing the cooldown of our blast. That's perfectly fine as well. We're looking for Fine Line here. We don't get it. We'll take the Bridal Glow. It hits Grand Caldera. That's not amazing. It's certainly not bad, though. So here we have Rivals Prometheus with Heracles added to the fight. Again, we hitch them both together, and then Knuckle Bones hits, doing a huge burst of damage. Prometheus gets instantly phased, and then we quickly phase Heracles afterward as well. Again, we got the memory game that I just like to iframe through. Hitch, of course, being very valuable for the rest of the fight as well, even after the Knuckle Bounce of hits. Because doing damage to both of them at the same time is much better than only being able to hit one of them. Heracles down, Prometheus phased, Flame Waves Part 2. Pretty nice fight.
I have foreseen. Who would have fought for you?
So long, you two.
Here we pick up the White Antler once again. Take this. Looking for Ocean Swell. Did not see it. Sea Star. Woo! Looking for success right there, and we'll take this armor as well. There's success rate. The common success rate moves our antler from 30% crit chance up to 39% crit chance, which is again a 39% chance to do triple damage. We are pretty safe. We got Trusty Shield and we got our DDs. No Fig here this time. Yeah, we get the land Drakens in room 1. Got pretty lucky though. They didn't teleport around like they frequently do. Fig in room 2. Take Hephaestus again, looking for a premium service, as discussed before. My attack got eaten there, unfortunately. This is the spawn of Typhon. Not preferred over the twins, especially not when we have a hitch build going, but that's okay.
Mindless wretch.
No premium service. We take the strike. No, that turns off origination. We'll just take the security system for even more safety, I guess. Land Drakens again. Take this boon. Really want premium service. Still don't get it. Take Furnace Blast. Bit more damage. More Drakens. Thanks, security system. We'll take the triple palm here. We do have a chance to C-star it again. Eye of Typhon once again, that's good. Much less damage than our previous build though, of course. We could have actually used Twilight Curse there to turn the big rolling eyeball into a sheep and not have it explode, but I forgot. But again, pretty easy there. Not a bad fight at all. That is the fight you would prefer to get. Triple palm on the special there. Very nice. Unfortunately, did not get hit by Sea Star. That would have been funny. We will take the armor here. And I think we're just good to continue on. This is Rivals Typhon, which is much more difficult than normal Typhon because it also adds Chronos here to attack us as well. Always starts out with this Tongue Slam move that we dodge pretty well. There's the phase. We got Chronos doing the one-shot attacks while we're having the eggs spawn. I guess I get Knife Twilight Curse. I could have one-shot those, but I forgot again. Pretty good phase there. Again, instead of Zeus here, because it's Rivals, we just have this Chrono section where he starts putting time-stopping bubbles everywhere with the whirlwinds from Typhon. It can be very dangerous. We got a very good pattern there, though. Quite lucky. We'll use Twilight Curse there to one-shot the eggs. This timed this part a little bit, but that's okay. There's quite a few lovers there. That's alright. There's the end of that phase, but we are not done yet. Because in the Rivals Typhon, we got this little ending bit here.
Some monster he is.
In the code, this part is known as Babality. So that's what we call it in the community as well. The Babality phase of the fight, where we have to stay in this ring here, dodging all of these attacks while trying not to die. We are pretty safe. We got a huge amount of armor, and we still have our 3 DDs, and we also have a pretty large amount of dodge as well. So we are very safe here.
You broke free.
And then this little last part is just a bit of a coup de grace. It's not really dangerous at all. He throws like 1 or 2 weakened attacks at you, and then you just finish the fight off there. Pretty good surface overall. Remember to drink water.
Well, this did not exactly go as planned.
This is
On to the underworld.
From the summit of Olympus, Titan-slaying witch Melinoe regards the world to which the gods lay claim, and she decides this precious world which we all share is perfect, just the way it is.
return to Shadow now. Oh, so that's the way it is.
Well done.
Once again, entering the underworld portion of the run, we turn on the Vow of Shadow because it makes the Shadow Spiller mini-boss much faster if we happen to hit it.
Should be a lively evening.
We're going to keep on Death for the bit of safety, even though we didn't need it for that other run. Howling Soul is not exactly the preferred Hades blessing to receive from Jewel Pawn. Also having the exact same 3 Aphrodite choices that we had in our other Underworld run. Not starting out great here. Use our Artificer here. Howling Soul does have a bit of use on the Hecate fight, on the Rivals Hecate fight, and then it can be very strong in the Rivals Chronos fight as well. But everywhere else, it's not preferred because it adds a little end or a little beginning delay to your cast because it's aiming the little skull that flies forward. Artemis is not what you want to see in an RTA run, unfortunately, but that's okay. It has a little delay to your cast, which can it frequently messes up my combos that I try to do on the Morrigan because of that. But surely I'll remember to just play around it a bit. Demeter. Take the gain. We get Vital Signs from Artemis. That's pretty nice, luckily. Lethal Snare was there too. Could have been the option. I forgot to play around Howling Soul. That's okay.
We're settled.
We'll take the clang. Yeah, we'll take the clang attack.
The Smith God's power.
We got Arachne, that's nice. Take the big armor.
Of course. Immaculate. Farewell.
Mid shop. Hestia. I do want the hammer. That's not a great hammer. We'll take the pinion. And we'll take the, yeah, we'll take the Scorch. Open chain reaction.
Thank you for
As
your
well as having the funny, you know, Sinister Pinion Scorch combo to apply just a ton of Scorch. We do have Origination technically, but it's not exactly in a great form. This is a very good Spark of Ixion to get to guarantee a Chaos Gate in this room. Just skip another, or skip the room after this, rather. Unfortunately, this is quite the slow room with unarmored spindles and whispers.
Won't hurt at all. Hail, chaos.
Chaos. I do very much value the sprint speed.
Don't have the
We
gold
are
for
out
this.
of money, that's alright.
Ah,
Rivals Hecate is a much more difficult fight.
Chaos.
Something I forgot to mention about the Rivals fights is they have a combo breaker move, or most of them have a little combo breaker move that they do when you do enough damage to them. We'll see that shortly from Hecate. It's not too impactful on the surface, but it is much more impactful on the underworld bosses. Here, I forgot to do the thing. What's the real one there? The combo breaker there, she teleports. We're missing the real one because I forgot to attach Howling Soul to her. This sheep ball is much harder to dodge. We are likely to get cursed here. We actually don't. Very nice. This one here. Howling Soul attach, and then we see which one is the real one because of the Howling Soul. We could also see because we had some triad marks left on her, but
return to shadow now.
I prevailed.
that's a nice bonus to this weapon that's not available on all weapons. Here we take the Fig Leaf once again, and we continue onward.
Heading in.
Many would consider the Rivals underworld bosses much harder than the Rivals surface bosses, mostly due to the Sirens fight coming up in this region, and also some would say that, and then also the Hecate fight as well is much harder than the Rivals Polyphemus fight. And then, in my opinion, I also think the Cronus fight is much harder than the Typhon fight.
Down we
But
go.
that's just me.
Olympus, I accept this message.
Take Grand Caldera, very nice. This is our Fig proc. We got our sprint speed online, that's very nice with the Sirens fight, and then also for the Chronos fight, and just navigating through the Fields of Mourning as well. Take security system. Hello, Tony.
You again.
Again, Tony's pretty easy, pretty simple. If you get a bad pattern on his fight, though, where he moves around a lot, it can be quite annoying. We'll take a Rapture Ring here.
Beautiful.
These shell backs can be quite annoying as well if you let them hide in their shell. Kind of a wonky build again, not exactly the best. That's alright. We got an attack, we got a game. We got our regeneration. We'll be fine.
Olympus, I accept this message.
Sweet surrender's good. We don't have any gold to buy from this shop, actually. This is the Sirens fight, where they also add an additional boss, Charybdis. It turns into a very much of a bullet hell. It can be quite annoying to deal with everything. Very surprised we haven't phased one of these yet. There it is. There's the drums. There's Jetty. There's Skilla. Surely, no? Surely, okay. Omega cast again. Similar to the normal fight. Jetty, or Skilla's combo breaker rather, is that clam dash that she did there. Not a magic, I need a tranquil game. I forgot to do that in the mid phase. Luckily we were able to phase her with a nice crit on the blast before she was able to do much of her annoying attacks. Pretty good fight. Certainly not bad. A bit slower than I would have liked, but that is okay. Here we take the droplet. The knuckle bones are not as useful on Rivals Cerberus as they are on Rivals Prometheus. In addition, the extra sprint speed is much more valuable in the Fields of Mourning to maneuver yourself around quicker in the large fields rooms.
I've drawn them out.
Here. Not a great one.
Excellent.
There we go. Oh, it's this tile. Unlucky version of this tile, unfortunately. Way over here.
I draw you down, O moon. Lend me your light.
Selene here. We will take the Twilight's Curse. Twilight Curse is quite useful in the rival Cerberus fight. We'll take Hephaestus here. Oh, we got hit by the miasma there because I didn't dodge it in time. That's all right. Bit unfortunate.
In the name of Hades.
There's premium service. That's quite nice. An extra 222 damage on our triad, of course.
Echo, have you been?
We'll take another Hephaestus.
Take care now. Take care. Care.
Furnace Blast is good. Going for the hammer. It's our big proc, very nice.
Good.
Another very bad hammer, unfortunately.
Golden once again.
Not what you want to see. Hermes here. Racing Thoughts is quite nice. We aggro the Bloatshade. And then we hit Nemesis too. That's quite unfortunate.
Going to take.
Not great.
Come off it. Come on then.
Bit of a time loss.
Who else?
Alan Soul, where are you going?
Won't work. That's that.
Come on, Nim.
Go on.
Another not great bomb. Take shop. Demeter, looking for Weed Killer here. Very nice. An extra 110% on our Omega is very valuable. Rival Cerberus, he now is in this, very, very lava-filled arena. And his combo breaker, that I don't think he doesn't do here. We'll see in phase 2. Twilight Curse, turning these enemies into sheeps, very valuable, because they do like to jump around and be very annoying, like this guy is. So, having Twilight Curse for that is quite nice. There's the combo breaker, he puts up that shield, and if you hit the shield, it shoots a bunch of fireballs out. For us, it's not really that big of a deal, we can just kind of attack around it, but it can be quite annoying at times. There it is again. Very, very nice fight. Didn't get the best pattern, but it wasn't bad. On to Tartarus,
Downward.
where we will again be picking up the white antler for the 30% chance to do triple damage. Take the breath of arrows, which basically gives us a hit that will be ignored.
I'm in.
A little bit of safety, not a whole lot, but a little bit.
Ever shifting chambers. Realign.
No Fig here, unfortunate. Again, we really want to see the Fig in room 1. Because room 1 never has armored enemies, which means it's all unarmored enemies, which means more enemies, which means more time. In the rivals speedrun, I frequently go to the Hades room, and we'll go to the Hades room here just to pet the Cerberus, because that's nice.
Such attention for this door.
I don't think we really need to with Death Defiance's on, but we will anyway, because it still can be quite nice for safety. This is our Fig. As I was saying, the first room has no armored enemies, and it frequently just has more enemies, or it just has more enemies compared to where you would think, because each encounter that goes by in a region gets more and more difficult. But for some reason, the first room just has a higher difficulty than anything else. So not only does it have more enemies because none of them are armored, but it has more enemies because it has more enemies. Yeah, that Fig Leaf was not fantastic. We would rather spend the Fig Leaf on a big room, or of course on room 1. But so it goes. This is a nice small room. Skulls are not great, but at least they are armored. There's a second wave, though. Into the end shop. Take the armor. What does Hesty have? Slow Cooker, I think, would be nice. Chain Reaction should get value,
It's Charon.
I would think. Rivals Kronos is much harder than normal Kronos. Each of these minions have much larger, more annoying attacks, and then they also explode when they die in a wave of damage that you have to worry about. It's quite annoying. However, Twilight Curse prevents that death explosion from happening, which is, again, a very nice use of the Twilight Curse. We did trigger the phase, so the second wave of ads didn't actually spawn. I Twilight Curse that ad too late, unfortunately. Trying to gain a bit here. Got hit there. Rivals Kronos also summons this mini boss here in place of the normal enemies that the normal fight would have. Howling Soul again, kind of messing up my combo, but Howling Soul makes your cast stick to the target, which can be very nice for this Kronos fight. Phase 2, Kronos does have a combo breaker, which is this, where he just teleports. We actually just phased him. We did so much damage, we just phased him, because we have the Vital Signs, which made our blast do a very big crit. So that was a very quick phase 2, and in Rivals Chronos there is a phase 3, of course. He starts out by shooting these lasers and teleporting all across the room. We just dodge as best we can. Very unfortunate timing on that. Howling Soul is very nice here. Oh, I didn't teleport to him because it makes the cast stick to him, which makes Rapturing do full damage. Triple Scythe is very bad. Life Tax from Hades getting some nice value. This is the mid-phase part where I really should be trying to do damage to him at the same time, but it can be quite dangerous, which is why I chose to run Death Devices. For this particular run, the time slow is very annoying. Oh, and then he's doing Lasers Part 2, which is not very common. That usually doesn't happen, because we're usually just killing fast enough where he doesn't do that, but that's very unlucky. Klonos into Triple Scythe as well. Holy, that was an incredibly bad pattern. But we cleared. We're okay. So that's the Rivals version of the All Reasons run. I very much enjoy the Rivals fights. I think they are so much fun. They just add such a different dynamic than the normal fights do. It's so fun. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed this little over explain for the SGDQ submission, and appreciate you. Have a good one. Bye bye.